Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Models Workshop After Hours. This is your favorite Jen, otherwise known as Larry, coming at you from the new studio. I know you've probably forgotten about us, and guess what? It's not just me today, so you don't have to listen to my rambles. We got a couple people in the room. So if you can, introduce yourself.
Boo, it's Yeji.
Oh my God, we got a Yeji and a Larry. Oh, you know what is going to happen. It's going to be middle school up in his biatch. I'm not sure if Amy is here right now. No, she's not here. Guildy will be joining us, so we will be getting that sweet, sweet terrain love that Jim wants. Jim cannot join us right now. He's actually at a convention, or he would be here. Now, if you notice a little bit of a difference in the audio, we do have it set up where we're running everything through a mixer now. It's a 2-computer setup. On one computer, we're running Skype. On the other computer, we're running Audacity. And this is the first time that I am recording where I'm doing everything from my end, and all people are doing is dialing in. Now, hopefully, we'll be able to expand upon that, and we'll be able to have more people actually being able to call in. We'll be able to have 2 different calls. So I'll have a second Skype set up that people can buzz us, or maybe we have a Discord that we can bring people in and they can chat with us and all that good stuff. So Yeji, what have you been up to in the last year? I think since we've really recorded.
There's been so much going on in the last year for us.
This last
April.
year.
Yeah, this last year has been crazy for I think all of us at the Models Workshop.
I think the only person that it didn't go like schizo for was Jim, and I felt bad for him because he's sitting there like, guys, what about me?
Well, and I mean, technically, if you remove me out of the equation, like Clint was fine too.
Yeah, but Clint has that weird ass hours nowadays that it's so hard to get. Now, the cool thing with this setup is that like anyone who wants to hop on can just be like, hey, I'll kick on the mic. You don't have to worry about setup or anything. I hit one button, hit record over here, and we're ready to rock. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier, and it's going to be a hell of a lot easier on my side for editing because it's literally one track where everything. There are downsides to that. Yes, I understand that it's better to record in multiple tracks, but in the long run, it's a lot easier to edit. And for our rough style, I don't think it matters too much.
Nah, shouldn't. At least.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, April I started going full-time commission painting. And that was totally, new and a little bit scary. And it still is. Some months I'm just like, okay, come on, I need this payment to come in. Okay, good. But yeah, other than that, like I've been the least stressed and least sick in the longest time that I've known. And then we've been doing the Twitch thing for a while. That already is a year and a bit. It was a year in July. We had a huge celebration then. And then...
Man, has it already been a year?
Yeah, it's July 17th was our year mark. And so a whole month of July, we had tons of giveaways and stuff. But yeah, it's already been a year and we're just like, holy crap, like we're still doing this a year after. Like, it's just like when we had the podcast going for a while, right? Remember? Mm-hmm. We're like, we're at 50 episodes. What? We're at 100. What?
Right. Or even farther.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that with Twitch, and it's kind of nice because it gives me some time to actually dedicate and sit down and paint versus, me doing I'll paint tomorrow.
Right.
I'll paint tomorrow. So that's been good. And then lately, like I've just been working on commissions quite a bit. And lately I've been working on that new Marvel Crisis Protocol game. I'm doing up a demo set for the company, and yeah, I've been busy working on that.
Yeah, I've seen some of those miniatures that you've done. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, like those last year, the last time we talked, we heard about the divorce. Everything's going better there. I actually have the kids more than I have because my ex decided to go back to school, go her. But the problem is that when she has the kids there every weekend, she has trouble getting her homework done. So especially the boys. So the boys have been over at the house pretty much every weekend from the get-go. That's been really nice. From people who listened, I had my son on the last episode. He wanted to get in on it. He actually probably would be here right now, but I don't have a headphone splitter, and I'm actually running a set of earbuds right now because my other earphones kind of died. So that's two more things that I need to buy. Upgrade wise. So some people have seen the picture. I've actually got a mixer fully set up. I've got 2 mics now. I've got 2 Audio Techtonica 2035 XLR microphones hooked up to Rode microphone arms. Translation, a lot of money. But I got the mixer set up. I built a brand new computer, and the reason I built it is once I get all the wiring set up, I was rushing. I got home at 9:15, and we were set to go live at 10. It's like, oh, sheet. So I was rushing around trying to get everything set up and get all the microphones running and get everything basically going. So it's kind of a big spaghetti ball right here. But once everything is said and done, I'll have one computer that's doing nothing but the audio through the mixer. It's handling all the mixer stuff and recording the audio for the podcast itself to be published. The other computer will actually be streaming everything to include the full audio, and we'll have webcams set up. We'll have the entire, and that'll be where you can actually see Yeji and Jim and myself work. And so that's going to be really nice. But I built a brand new computer last week, actually. So it's not current gen spec. It's last year. Well, graphics card is this year's jet spec. Processor is a Gen 2 Ryzen. So I didn't have a reason to get a Gen 3 Ryzen because basically the only boost between Gen 2 and Gen 3 is the Gen 3 has tech that is not really there yet. It's kind of waiting to catch up. So I was like, you know what? There's only the Gen 3 processors are expensive. The motherboards, there's only 1 or 2 of them that I can actually handle it. I'm going to go ahead and go Gen 2, which it was a lot cheaper. So, but yeah, so got a new computer. So we should be up and streaming hopefully by episode 150. Probably a lot sooner than that. That'll actually probably be a perk for the patrons. Will be able to actually watch us live during live stream, or maybe interact with us while we're live streaming. So it's going to be more of a Joe Rogan type podcast in a way, as well as the audio portion of it. So we'll have a video and audio. So that's going to be pretty cool. Haven't decided on a platform to go with yet. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or possibly the new one that just is starting to get speed, the one that Ninja and all those guys went to.
There's another one?
Yeah, but it's actually Microsoft is backing it. Hold on, Xavier, do you know what it is?
Is it that?
Mixer.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mixer. Yeah.
Yeah, my nerdling is behind me.
I was like, is it Mixer, Matchup, Mix Up?
Yeah, it's Mixer. So I don't know. Mixer, Twitch has been weird here lately. You have YouTube is going strict and weird. Ooh, hey guys, guess what?
Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas. Been a while, buddy.
We missed you.
Now that we're out of the basement and up here, we can hear Thomas when he goes by. So that's kind of cool. For those of you who have missed Thomas the Train. But I'm still trying to debate on what platform. I'm honestly, I don't know. I'm debating between YouTube. I like it because it archives instantly from your live streams. It just goes right on there. So people will be able to watch the podcast in video form or audio form because it gets uploaded in audio as well. So it's one of those things like, which one do we want to do? Which way do we go, George? So, hey, if you have a preference, just buzz us over at Models Workshop. And you can find us at facebook.com/The Models Workshop or over on Twitch at, not Twitch. Well, you can find Yeji over on Twitch if you want to join her. Where can they find you on Twitch, you little Twitch star?
Twitch.tv/snickernack_studios. And that's SNICKERNACK.
And we actually are Models Workshop podcast over on the Twitch.
Can you tell I've done that quite a bit?
Just once or twice. Just just once or twice. You can find us over on Twitter and Instagram at MWAH Podcast. Or you can look up Snickernack on either one of those, and you can pull them up as well. I really need to get the website updated with all of our 5,000 links and channels.
Yep.
Really, really, really do. I really
Get
need
on
to.
that, Larry.
Shit, I need to tear down the entire website and reprogram it like from the ground up. In all honesty, it needs a. Yeah. Once we start actually bringing money in, maybe that'll be one of the things that we look at.
Money? What's that?
Right. I dropped $1,000 in the new computer, so talking to Guildy right now, just letting her know to hop on whenever she can. That's another cool thing about this. The way it's set up is if someone isn't around and they want to hop on late, they absolutely can. They can just slide in the room and be like, hey, and they can be here for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And yes, I'm planning on buying a new chair for all those, and they can hear the creaky chair in the background. So, man, it's like, what do we go over since? So, ReaperCon, that was really cool. So Yeji and I actually got to meet for the first time at Adepticon. We talked about that. And then we actually got to see each other again at ReaperCon, though we didn't hang out as much as we probably should have. But
I think ReaperCon is one of those two that I'm so busy at.
I was about to say, you were busy as all get out while you were at ReaperCon. And then I was hanging out with stuff, and I was introducing my now ex-girlfriend to all of the lovely miniature stuff. Now, as a bonus, she did tell me she's not going to quit painting miniatures.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Got her hooked, at least.
We're friends. She just decided that she wasn't ready to date. She probably will honestly never be ready to date. She likes going out. She likes hanging out. So, I mean, don't be too surprised if we're at Adepticon or ReaperCon and she's with me. It's just, she just wasn't feeling the dating thing, and that's totally cool, you know. And like I said, we're still friends. We still talk. We still hang out. But we're just not dating.
Yeah, that's still good.
Oh, one of my friends, Marie Bayer, I got to meet her for the first time at ReaperCon as well, and she is so sweet. I meant we were supposed to go out for dinner, and I owe her a big dinner this upcoming next time I see her. She printed out like this really awesome little dice box for me in purple. Oh, it's so awesome. And she ended up having to go, and I believe it was for gallbladder surgery, so hopefully she feels better really soon. And she just posted that she had to, okay, so she's back in the hospital, and she has to have surgery again to fix a complication.
Well, best wishes to you there.
Right. So, ReaperCon, that was amazing. Like, if I had the absolute choice, if I had to pick one over the other, Adepticon or ReaperCon, I think I would probably pick ReaperCon.
Woohoo! Honestly, ReaperCon is probably my favorite con because, like, it's just that whole atmosphere over there, and it's all paint oriented versus like paint and D&D, but like mostly everyone there paints, right? Versus Adepticon has a bunch of other games and stuff attached to it. Adepticon's really fun too, but at the same time, ReaperCon is like one of those kickback and vacation cons for me versus like actually feeling like I'm working it, you know?
This is the big difference, and I think I talked about this on the way home for the road podcast that we did. Is ReaperCon okay? So you walk in Adepticon. There's a lot of people playing games, hanging out, drinking. There's a lot of vendors, and everything seems segregated. Like in one area they're playing this game, and another they're playing this game, and scattered all over the hotel you have people playing board games, which is cool. You walk into ReaperCon, but if you go for painting, you've got to go down this hallway, make a left, go into this back nook, and you've got the painting area. Whereas in ReaperCon, you walk in, and the first thing you see is Fort Wapple right there, right at the front doors. Right there. And it's like, wow, that's really cool. You know, and you walk all over the hall, and everywhere it's either people playing one form or another of an RPG, or they're painting. So it's like, wow, you know, it's just really, really crazy that it's literally an RPG / painting con. I've never seen so many painters in one area. And like you go to what used to be the Crystal Brush, which is now going to be the Golden Demon. And there was like, maybe 150 entries. Whereas you go to ReaperCon and there's like 1,000 entries.
There's, I think 997 or 8 was the final count.
Okay. And yeah, like, and it's like, holy crap. There was like 70 different chibi entries. And then there was bust entries, and they're not afraid to add categories literally on the fly. Like we did with the kids for the chibis, because we'd only prepared for having adults. And then we had a whole bunch of kids that entered. It's like, shit, you know, we got to do something for the kids. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was really, really awesome. And you'll see the CEO of Reaper walking around, just talking. And the cool thing about it is just everyone seems to... the only thing I regret about Reaper is I never did get my drow nipples.
Well, that's your fault for not talking to Anne.
Every time I saw her, literally, I saw her like 4 or 5 times. Every time I saw her, she was absolutely swamped. Like swamped. Like I understand what type of swamp she was in, and I wasn't going to go up to go talk about nipples to her. She was like in the middle of doing stuff for the competitions, and she was getting ready to judge the Reaper entries and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's like, man, I can't bug her right now. I might have to message her and be like, Ann, I saw you like 5 times and I never did get my nipples. Can I bother you for a nipple today?
Yeah, no, by the way, like by the end of the con, like she was out of ribbons, but she had so many paints left. I was like, okay, then can I take another like 1 or 2 for my class? And she's like, take a handful, or for my stream. God. She's like, take a handful. So we ended up with like 7.
Send me one, please, because that is a beautiful purple, and that's my favorite color.
You gotta win one off her stream.
You suck. You suck so bad. I'll just message her, be like, and no, it was really cool because I got to sit down and hang out with Jessica Rich for a while, and she's she knows what the situation, and so does Yeji, but there was fuck it, I ain't gonna even say. She's a beautiful person, and she's really awesome, and she's really amazing to hang out with, and I am a proud owner of multiple original pieces of hers. She was so awesome. There was an original that I didn't have the money for, and I wasn't going to be like, hey, can you hold it till after ReaperCon for me? Because no. And, you know, I'd mentioned, I was like, I love that piece, and I really did. It's a gorgeous, beautiful piece. So she actually printed out the piece as the actual size of the artwork and put it in a frame for me and gave it to me whenever we got to ReaperCon.
Oh, Aw. Which one was it?
It's a deer drinking at a stream.
Ah.
I can send it to you.
Yeah, we got a print from her Foxalope.
Yes, actually, I have that print as well.
So we got that print for our 14-year-old for her birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, because she loves foxes. And so we're like, well, we're going to support. And her birthday was end of September. So I was like, this perfect timing.
Right. Yeah. And I ended up picking up an original while I was at ReaperCon. It was actually the most expensive thing that I bought at ReaperCon. And no regrets at all. But yeah, she was awesome to hang out with and just sit there and chill for, God, I think I hung out with her for a few hours. Ended up buying paints from Brian over at Midnight Heroes. His new paint line that he has coming out, or has come out.
Yep, I still have to do a review video on that.
Me too. He tossed me a couple bottles while we were at ReaperCon. I messed around with them, and I was like, you know what? This warrants further review or further look, so I bought a set of them. You probably
Brian gave me a set to play around with, and I still haven't played around with everything that I got from ReaperCon.
I know, right?
Even prior to that, like I am just now playing around with a set of Turbo Dork paints that they sent me back in August. End of July, early August.
I'm the same way, in all honesty. I have a set of Turbo Dork paints that I haven't had a chance to play around with, and what's sad is the ones that I have were from the original batch.
Yeah. This is from their new batch and the new colors that they came out with back in August.
Oh.
When they relaunched it August 19th or something like that.
No.
And they gave some of the Twitch streamers and people to play around with them. And I never got to, but I'm now putting them on the Marvel cars. So I'm like, yeah, a lot more people are seeing it than they would have seen it from then.
Yeah, those look great too. I know. I saw the ones that you're working on the car. It's very subtle, but it's really nice too.
It's really hard to photograph it really well though, because
you have to video it.
Yeah, because when I'm pushing it through an airbrush, it'll it makes the little mist thing happen and things like that. But not just that, but because of the way the light catches on it that way, especially since I don't have a gloss coat on top of it right now, it's catching the little dots versus actually catching the gradient. So that's making me a little sad.
You pretty much have to videotape it, or it's not going to show up properly. I have both of my originals in there too. Oof. Sorry, I'm actually trying to go through my paint case. I paid for this, but I'm going to do a review on it. It's Jason Craze's miniature case that he did through Monument Miniatures. Mm-hmm. I got one of the limited edition purple ones, and of course, thanks, Lynn. It's all her fault. All her fault. No, it really is. She got hers in, and she's like, look what I got. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. If they had another one, I'd buy it. So she's like, you should go check it out. And I did, and they had one, so I bought it.
I was really debating on getting one, but I ended up going, well, I still can't really put that on the plane, so I didn't.
I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, but that's because you and Lynn drive to all these cons. I can't drive to freaking Chicago or Illinois.
I don't. Okay, mine isn't that I enjoy it for, let's say, okay, yeah, driving to the convention, that's great. And your drive would have actually been shorter than mine going to ReaperCon. Thank you very much. But it's great for me for my job, because I can just carry it with me in the truck. And I have. I've carried it in the truck, and I've been using it to paint.
Dude, my job literally requires me to walk 5 steps into my art room.
Well, yeah, there's that. I just sent you a picture.
Why are you sending me photos? Jeez. I don't want to see nudes. Where'd you send the photo to?
Over on the group.
Oh. Right.
Oh.
I always forget I have that muted. I mean, of course I don't have you guys muted.
Right. No, don't worry. I mute it most of the time too. It tends to go off like no one will chat and then everybody chats and it's like, oh.
Uh-huh.
But that's the one that was the one that she sold the original to someone else.
Oh yeah.
So she made the print for me.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, she's so sweet. I got to hang out with her at Adepticon this past year, and that was really cool.
That's where me and her made up. Was at Adepticon. I went up to her and it's like, I need to talk to you.
Ooh.
Well,
that sounds dangerous. I need to talk to you.
I tried to make amends with multiple people, and I think I've done it with almost everyone except for one person. And I tried with them, and they basically told me to kiss off. So, whatever. Had a good discussion with. Actually, Adepticon was a lot of. I don't know if healing is the right word for it. A lot of making peace. I think making peace would be the best way to say it. Made peace with a lot of people. Well,
a lot of people and things, I think, too. Like I mean, we all kind of were like, let's be less negative, like, since then.
Yeah. After the divorce, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be this shitlordy type person, and I don't want people to think that, like I said before, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be objective. Like, I'm still going to give an honest opinion, but I'm not going to be shitty towards people. Like, as an example, Brian. I didn't talk to Brian for a couple years. And he did irk me, and I have talked to him about that. I've teased him about that multiple times, too, since then. And as you can tell, him and I have buried the hatchet. Not in his forehead like I wanted to originally, but no, we talked things out, and I told him what my problems were, and I told him what pissed me off. I told him what he did, and come to find out, I guess that's a a relatively normal Brian thing. He's hard-headed
Very
as
normal.
shit. So, and I told him, it's like, look, don't oh, fuck. Reaper Bones ends in 19 hours. So by the time you're listening to this, Reaper Bones will be over. I haven't pledged. I don't have the money to pledge.
Pledge for $1.
Oh, actually, did I pledge for $1? I thought I did.
Seriously, that's what I did. I was like, I don't have money. And then I go and Clint wanted us to pledge the Infinity Defiance stuff because his Infinity Minis, the new army that he wants to get into, like there's new sculpts and stuff for them in there. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, this is going to cost less money than you actually buying the Infinity figures by themselves. So,
oh my goodness, Wave 20 freaking 5 for America.
Should have done it earlier.
Actually, I kind of thought I had. There's actually a Wave 1 or a Wave. Yeah, there's a Wave 1 and a Wave 2 available for us. America's in Europe, Wave 5 for $1 or more. Bingo. No longer available. Fuck. All right, I guess I'm going to back it for $1.
At Wave 22?
25. Wah, wah. I could have swore I did it when it was like Wave 8. I totally didn't do it when it was Wave 8. Wah, 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 wah. Now, ReaperCon was really, really awesome. Damn, 2.8 million. I didn't even check to see what all has been unlocked from it. Everything. But ReaperCon is great. Honestly, I think if you can only go to a single convention, I would honestly recommend trying to go to ReaperCon.
Well, it's a great first timers convention too, because like I think that Adepticon, like there's just too many things that you're gonna want to do, and especially Gen Con, like there's just way too much stuff for a first timer for a convention. But I think for a first timer, if you go to ReaperCon, you can see all the things you want to see. You can do most of the things you want to do. Get into some of the classes that you wanted to get into, and just hang out with a bunch of people.
And fucking Torchy's Tacos.
Yeah.
Torchy's. Oh, you didn't go to Torchy's? Oh, you missed out. There.
I don't really like Tex-Mex. Like, I've had it way too much.
Oh, true. And that's kind of what this was.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I mean, we did go to Hard 8, and then I got sick on the way back because so the guy driving us was he's ID Visions from our Twitch channel, like he watches us. And I felt so bad for the kid because like I already felt kind of like not good that day. And it happens to me when I go to conventions and like I eat, you know. Normally like not eating actually helps. It's weird, and it's partially because of the travel and everything like that. But I felt so bad because he was a little heavy on the brake, and I get car sick. Ooh. On the way back. We're literally 500 feet away from the convention hall, and I'm like, stop the car.
You Ralphed all over the place.
It was sad.
Oh my god, that pirate ship is freaking nuts. The Bones 5 pirate ship.
Oh, I haven't looked into all the stuff that's unlocked since I pledged. I've been too busy.
I haven't either, but some people were throwing pictures. Let's not talk about throwing up. We're putting up pictures of the pirate ship and like how big it is. It's massive. It's $100 upgrade.
Oof.
That's like
Maldrakar, right? Like.
Yeah, no, Maldrakar was only like.
It was $60.
60. This is $100 upgrade on a Bones. So you can just think about how massive this thing has to be.
Yeah.
Once again, I really wish that we could buy some of these expansions singularly. Because I don't want the entire Greek Odyssey. I want the Hydra. That's all I want. I want the Hydra. And Cerebus. I want Spot.
You can always get it and resell it.
I'll just wait for it to come out in a single blister.
Yeah, or you can always also get it and then keep it for Halloween, and instead of giving out candy, you give out the first hit for free.
They have a white shark. We should buy this for Mark. Get a little chibi and put it on there. Okay, I actually kind of like the Dark Depth one. I don't know, all the underwater stuff is kind of neat. They have a sea giant, and he's huge. Holy crap. They have a sea dragon. He's not as big, but he's cool looking. Holy crap, how much stuff did they unlock?
A whole ton.
Jeez. I had to say, this is probably the biggest. And it's the last 19. It'll probably get the last few, I'm sure. Usually the last push, the last sprint. So tomorrow it should have a nice sprint. I'm sitting here watching the money just roll in like up, 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 up. Oh, it's nice to see that. You know, I understand, and I have dissed on big companies using Kickstarter, but Reaper isn't exactly massive, and they do a Kickstarter once every 2-3 years.
Yeah, Reaper's smaller than you think.
Yeah. And then, it's a lot smaller than you think. I didn't go do the tour because I'd actually had done it. I did a tour when Brian still worked there, and Brian took Ploss and I around. So that was really cool.
I haven't done a tour of the facilities. Like, we've just been to that retail store that's connected to it before, but that was it when we lived in Texas. And then apparently next year, Sovereign, who's another streamer that I've adopted as my little brother. You've met Tony, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. He was the bald guy sitting next to Clint.
Probably then. If I saw the picture, I'd probably be like, oh, yes, this guy.
But anyways, he's I forget. Reaper Justin. Justin was like, you got to take a trip next year, and we're like, okay, we'll go. And he's like, yeah, I'll be in Yellow Crux. And I was like, okay.
There's a whole bunch of really neat little miniature Kickstarters out right now. Modest Medusa. Oh, here's a chibi Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It's called Modest Medusa. Have you seen it
There's
yet?
that one, and then there's another one where it's like battle girls, and they're kind of like all these little girls flying on robot sci-fi-ish looking things. I don't know. I'm bad at explaining things.
It's really neat to see all of the chibis actually the chibis really starting to kick off. Did you see what else is coming out in chibi form?
What?
Freaking 40K.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, really? That was really odd. I was like, okay. Yeah, this one's cute. Not my thing. Not super huge into chibis, and the Medusas are cute. I'd definitely check it out. It's Modest Medusa. Drew Olds is the one that painted for them for the Kickstarter. Oh, nice.
Ooh, speaking of chibis, guess what I'm doing?
Painting chibis?
Painting chibis. Well, not right now. I'm not painting chibis right now. I got in a box from Ninja Division of their new masterclass stuff. And so I have like 7 chibis from them that I'm going to be painting up here in the next couple of months.
Ninja Division?
Ninja Division, yeah.
Isn't that the company that was going through like some serious woes?
Yes. I really like, so what's going on with them kind of is they're trying to do the masterclass series miniatures. So that like the masterclass is resin miniatures, right?
Right.
So they're trying to do those in order to help fund what they couldn't or what they spent from the Kickstarters. So okay. I'm kind of trying to do my part to keep chibis alive. Like, that's really all.
It's nice to see that they're clawing their way up. They're not just giving up. And that's I get them kudos. I still don't like some of the things they did as a business.
They're really trying to pull back up, and they've also started delegating a lot more versus having to have one person just be in charge of everything. So I think that actually takes stress off of them, which will help them out.
I hope
I'm still pulling for them, hopefully.
Hopefully they learn that communication is a key. Communicate.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to do when you get the death threats and stuff, though.
Yeah, okay, I do understand that. But, yeah, actually, Lynn and I were talking about some of that stuff. We're supposed to be doing an expose on that type of deal whenever we get a chance to sit down, about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that people don't see in Kickstarters and the dark side of Kickstarters and why smaller companies stop doing them and how there's a bunch of toxic stuff within that as well. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is people don't read. Like, seriously, they have an update that goes out and then people don't read it. Like, what are you supposed to do with that, I don't know. People don't even read Facebook posts, so I'm just like, eh.
And as a friendly reminder, Kickstarter is for monetary backing. It's not a guarantee. It's not a pre-order system. Don't ever put money forward that you are not willing to lose. If I put $200 down on Reaper Bones, I go into that with the understanding that I might not see anything from that. Is it? Now, there's certain likeliness, like Frozen Ninja 3D with their new Kickstarter. They're established. They've been around for a while. They already have their own line. What they're putting out isn't really beyond what they've normally done. So I have a high expectation that I will get a return on my investment. Whereas XYZ Games, I don't want to point anybody out that's actually out there, but let's say XYZ Games, you know, they're new. They're really trying something. They've got a couple new models. And you know, you decide to toss $50 towards them. Well, they mismanage it, but they tried. They really, truly tried, but they weren't able to do something. It wasn't like they scammed you. You know, there's a higher probability that you're not going to get anything from that Kickstarter. But there's always the chance that you will as well. And it's like Reaper. I fully expect to get stuff when I put money on a Reaper, but if I would lose money, then let's say something catastrophic happens, all the containers with the miniatures fall off, and they're unable to reproduce all of Bones 5 again. It's just a risk that you deal with. Same with, let's say, Frozen Ninja. California has a massive earthquake because they live out in Cali, and all of their equipment gets broken, and they don't have enough money to get it back running. And that's what Kickstarter is, folks. It's not a pre-order system. You don't have a guarantee that you're going to get stuff back. Mm-hmm. They promise to do their best to get you this stuff. Ooh. Oh, it's already over. Damn. Mouse Guard. Mouse Guard actually had a... oh! Holy shit. It was Legos. Huh. Sorry. My buddy Jeremy loves Mouse Guard, and they had Mouse Guard Legos for the RPG, oddly enough. But it's one of those things. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get something, and you have to weigh the risks. Like, this company's established. You know, that's what we do with Kick-Ass Kickstarter, is we look at everything that's going on. We look at what their goals are, how much money per person versus how many products they're trying to put out. Like, if Bones would have tried to put out, or if Reaper would have tried to put out this many miniatures with Bones 1, then I'd be like, I think they're overstepping.
I think they did, though. Because, like, I was looking at the price breakdown difference between amount pledged and number of minis people got. Bones 1 was at 40 cents a mini. Everything else since then has been, or the Bones 2 and 3, I think, were 60 cents a mini. And then now Bones 4 and 5 are at 80 cents a mini, I think.
Bones 4 was a lot of larger minis, though. And Bones 5 is a lot of miniatures, but it isn't a $100 pledge and you're done. You can easily spend $400, maybe even more, to get everything. It's in other sizable chunks. You know, if you just put the $100, you're still getting, 80, 90 miniatures, not the 140 with Bones 1. And they probably did overreach a little bit. But I don't think they do these Bones. Okay, so maybe the newer ones, they do the Bones to make a little bit of profit, but originally it wasn't about profit. It was about getting the molds cut for the new plastic they were using.
I still don't think that it's about profit. I still think that they learned from the first one they couldn't give that many free minis.
Right. And they probably did overstep, but luckily they were a fairly large company that were able to, maybe even throw in a little bit of their own money. Just wondering if my son was snoring behind me. I don't know what the hell that was.
I think it's a motorcycle passing by.
I hope so. Maybe I need to get some soundproofing curtains for this room or something. That was kind of crazy. But, and, you know, it's one of those deals. You know, Reaper, everybody learns. You know, Reaper learns, I can't do this. Ninja Division has definitely learned, hey, we can't give that many miniatures away. Also, there's been a lot of changes from importing and exporting from China, too.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more tariffs in place, and the cost of shipping has went up. Just, you know, overall, you have a whole bunch of different costs that have increased in the last X number of years. So, I mean, Bones 1 was, what, 2012? It's been 7 years, so, you know, there's 7 years of changes that have happened. You know, the price of plastic and resin may have went up.
I'm so glad that the new plastic formulation for it is so much better. So glad. Granted, it's still not for everything. Like the bigger, heftier ones will still be made with the bones white, not the bones black.
Yeah, the bones black are amazing comparative to the regular bones. They're definitely, like, the regular bones had their place, but the bones black are going to have their place too.
Yeah, well, and the bigger models are still going to be produced in the regular bones.
Well, there was one that I saw it was a large giant, and she was in black, and she was a lot better.
No, like the big ones, like the ships and the Tianats and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but those things are so fucking thick that they have enough oomph to hold themselves up.
Yeah.
So, unlike some of the other stuff. And the cool thing is, I think the molds they don't have to recut the molds. They just had to redo the formula. So that's really cool. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm bending over to pick up tape so I can tape these windows off for the next two cars. I was silly puttying them, but then that actually came out a little bit weird. Like the edges are more jagged. So, and especially with the turbo dorks, the edges are getting jagged.
Right.
Because that acrylic paint is a lot thicker than most other acrylic paints.
Right, because of the way that that type of pigment goes on. So
yes. So I am cutting tape to cut around the area versus using the silly putty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, my youngest daughter actually just got her permit today.
Oh, goodness.
Well, that's actually a pretty big deal. She's the one with epilepsy, so. So she's been free from seizures long enough that she is able to go and get her permit.
She excited?
Yeah. It was really cool.
Are you excited? No.
Well, my oldest son also has his permit too, so it's like, yay, I get to be stressed all the time.
You get to also put two teenagers on it, like the exact same time on your insurance. I mean, I didn't see that. Just to stress you out.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, yeah, the same night that you guys ended up going to the Heart 8 was the day we ended up going to Torchy's. Because one of our big podcast fan, your creeper.
I felt so bad.
Oh my God, that was great. Yeji messaged me about James going, this guy was staring at me. Then James messaged me and goes, I think I freaked Yeji out.
I felt so god.
I was like, what? Oh my god. And then I realized it was
The same person.
They were talking about that Yeji was talking about him. Oh, yeah, he's pretty cool. He's actually the one who like kind of twisted my arm to get back into the entire podcast thing and get everything back up and running. So he should be really happy that this is running. We actually so for like 3 weeks now, we've been planning the podcast. 1 week, something happened and I had to pull out. The next week we were going to record and
I was out of town.
Yeji was out of town. That was the weekend that Andrew and I recorded. And then we were going to record last week. We had everything set up with Jim and Yeji and myself, and Amazon sent me the wrong fucking cable. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So they sent me the completely wrong cable, and not like, oh, I can patch. If for anybody who does audio, they know that, if you're at less than 7 adapters between point A and point B, you're doing good. I couldn't even adapt it over. Like, it was the absolute completely wrong cable. I was like, how do you fucking switch these two cables up? So I had to reorder another one, and I got it in. So here we are.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
We are back.
Yeah, and it's one of those deals where I'm like, I'm really feeling into the entire wanting to record some more, and I've missed my friends. I've missed hanging out with Yeji and Clint whenever he gets a chance to come on, and Jim and Guildy and all those folks. I've really truly missed them, and this has been pretty awesome, Oh crap. Okay, so maybe I was inviting the wrong Amy. Apparently, yes. No, shit, she literally has 2 accounts that have the exact same fucking name. Oh no, one of them is Amy and one of them is Amy Lee. That's why. Oops.
The Amy Lee is probably like, who the fuck is this?
No, it's her account. She made another one, I think.
Holy crap, it fucking worked?
No, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was Larry's fault.
Yeah, I was inviting your other account.
Oh, okay, it's not just me.
No, it wasn't you. Not this time.
I was looking through the list and I was
Yay!
like, why the fuck is... I was like, I rolled down, I was like, oh crap, that's the account that she's on. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to fucking redo it because the fucking machine just... Whatever. Apparently I didn't have it on here. Well, I don't have Audacity running.
You're fine. We're actually recording already.
Oh, good. Okay.
We actually have everything set up where I'm recording everything at my end now.
Oh, okay. Cool. I don't know, you said the old way, and I was like, I don't remember the old way.
I screwed everything up. I'm just joining in and don't know where anything's at.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm looking through my list of like the last time I talked to people, and a lot of these folks have been like 3 years ago, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, well, the last time I got a call from Larry was June 2018.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You've been away for a while, guys.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, well, shit's gotten real, man.
Right. Oh man. So what have you been up to? We were reminiscing for like we've been recording for like the last 50 something minutes. So.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, I was like, I kept calling the other number, and I was like, where is she at? Where is she at? Why is she not joining? I'm calling her, and you're like, I'm here, and I'm like, I'm what? And then I just happened to scroll down, and it was like, you're active on the other account. I was like, oh, that's where she's at. My bad.
Oh my God, I have to do this by the middle of November. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm, well, right now I'm working on a little bit of Garville Loken. I should be doing homework. Garville Loken, it's a Forge World model that's from a diorama with him and Abaddon, and a friend of mine on Twitter, Leaky Cheese, bought him and converted him for me so I can make him one of my Luna Wolves instead of him looking like a Sons of Horus. So he is pretty fucking awesome. And now he doesn't have the stupid eyes all over him, but I actually have to paint him, and he is insanely detailed, and I'm going slightly crazy.
Just slightly?
It's okay. We're all crazy here.
Yeah, just slightly. But, yeah, otherwise, oh god, I don't know. Let's see, I started a squig army. The boy got into trees, so we bought a box of Loon Curse. So now he has a full 2,000 point Sylvanas army that needs to be painted, that he needs to be working on. Let's see, what else did we do? Oh my god, since we've last talked. Oh my god, so much stuff. I added more to my orc army.
Everything has happened since the last time we've done this. It's been been a hot minute.
Just a little bit. Let's see, I got another job. So I'm working 3 part-time jobs, and I'm going to school online to get an ESL certification, so I can get a better job by next year, hopefully, and get, benefits. Yeah, and probably less time on the armies, but more money for the armies. It's kind of balancing out, sure. I don't know, I've been playing, let's see, I've been playing 40k, been playing 30k, been playing a little bit of Age of Sigmar with the boy. And, yeah, just, working on the orcs, per usual.
Have you been streaming much lately?
Not a ton since I started school. I just kind of started doing it again, but not for very much. I'm trying to stream my terrain, which is problematic because of the size. Like, I did some of my Army on Parade's board on stream, and that was fun. I literally put my camera thing up, as high as it could bloody go. and because I got this 2 foot board on front of me, trying to keep it in shot, and I'm like, yeah, if I actually gonna do big stuff, I'm gonna have to make a separate table to do that on or something, which I haven't figured out yet. So, you guys are always on late because you're West Coast more.
Well, West Coast as well as Clint's been on swing shift, and so that's why he does the he comes home at 10:30. We switch off at about 11:30 depending. And then he goes on until 3 in the morning.
Oh damn. So he's a night owl. Yeah, I have to have my beauty rest. I gotta be up, and I've got a 4-hour window in between my 2 jobs, so it's kind of nice, but at the same time, it's kind of just enough for me to panic about how much homework I have to get done. I'm only taking 2 classes, but they're graduate level, so it's there's a lot of extra work.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, I haven't really been painting as much as I'd like, but hopefully that'll improve. So I did do Armies on Parade. I was very happy. I got my my Luna Wolves all on the board. And there's pictures on my Instagram and Twitter and stuff. But I actually got gold. And it would be a greater accomplishment if only there hadn't been just 2 of us.
Hey, an accomplishment's an accomplishment, no matter how small.
I know. It's the guys were going. Well, it was raining nonstop, pretty much in Atlanta. And I drove out of my way to go up to it finally, and I had my board all done. It's ISFON 3 after the virus bombing, so I had trench works and ruined buildings and some of the bits from the old Battle of the Crag. And what else did I put on there? Oh yeah, I broke one of my friend's hearts because I put I broke a Contemptor Dreadnought model from the Betrayal at Kelth kit, and made it a wreck on the board and painted it up like World Eaters. That was fun. You look pretty good. I was messing around with some Green Stuff World UV resin. I don't know if you guys use that stuff. It definitely has some interesting uses. They put out a few tutorials about it and stuff, but I have a little bottle of it, and it's like the first gen one that they did that doesn't have the color. Like now they have ones that have color, which would have been cool because I did like icky stuff coming out of the dreadnought, from the virus bomb. It was the idea. And this crap, though, oh my god. You know how you're like, if only I could get this to do this while it was dripping in this perfect form? The UV resin, I have this little bitty flashlight I got for like $3 at Tractor Supply. That's a UV. And it did. It pretty much instantly set it. It was crazy. I was just like, holy shit. So, yeah, I can see some definite possibilities for that. For things that you want to do certain motion or, whatever. Little sculpting almost with it. You just instantly set it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the new UV resin, I think, is going to, as it improves, it's already done some really cool things, but as it improves, I think that the uses are going to become more and more, and it's going to become more prevalent. I mean, hell, that's what an entire 3D printer technology is based off of, is UV resin. As it comes out, it's flashing it. That's what those resin printers are. It's literally that UV resin, and as it comes out, the tray lifts, it flashes it with UV light, and it. But yeah, that's basically what UV resin is.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. I was a little skeptical at first, but I mean, I'm like, I love resin and I love resin effects, so I have like all kinds of shit for it. And yeah, when I saw that, I was like, well, I already ordered some of their Green Stuff rollers, for the bases and things like that. And there's some I've been wanting, so I went ahead and threw that in the cart while I was doing it. Oh my god! And I got their they have dams or molds for resin. I don't know why I'm reaching for them. It's not like you guys can see them. Anyway, they're awesome. They're oval.
Not
the ones
yet,
they have.
At least.
Yeah. Well, these ones are oval shaped. Like there's one for a biker, which would have been great when I was doing more of my war bikers for the orcs. But I have a big one too that fits some of the. God, I don't know, like the Hell Pit Abomination. Okay, that base size. I think it's like 120 by 92 millimeter or something like that. Anyway, those are freaking awesome because they're the perfect way, and they're to dam the resin you want to use, and they're silicone so they don't fucking stick to the resin. And it's just, it's a hell of a lot easier than sitting here taping and trying to get the dam right and all this other shit. I love it. I can't wait till they come out with some round ones, which they probably already have done. I haven't looked yet.
Couldn't you use like baking molds for the round ones?
If you can find ones the right size. I don't know if they have. I mean, I keep trying to cast nice ones, but they don't. The bitch with GWs has got that beveled edge, which doesn't quite meet the edge of your dam, which means when you go to tape it, you're at a 30-degree angle. So the tape, is pushing over that little bit. Yeah. And when you make the whole thing, it like you don't have as much room.
I saw one person at ReaperCon that was teaching it. He was using the little, the food little cups, like the plastic cups.
Yeah. I don't know if they have 25 millimeter ones, which is the size I use the most. That would be worth looking into though, because even with, you're going to get some overflow with that, maybe a little bit because of the stupid beveling. Or I suppose you could pack something in there, like some, I don't know. No, I wouldn't want to pack anything in there because then you'd have an overhang.
Extra Vaseline?
Yeah, the nice thing is with these, you don't need anything. You just pop them in the mold and put the resin on and wait till it cures and you're done. and pop it right back out. Except for the beveling issue. But you can also just, buff the edges if you really, really want to, if it really bothers you or whatever. It just annoys me because when I do like I did my beach bases for my works, it ended up getting some of the spill underneath the base and kind of, adding height that it didn't need.
Are you just mad because it's taller than you are?
Everything's fucking taller than I am.
Am I? I'm not.
I think you're barely not taller than me. Because aren't you like 5'1" or something?
No, I'm 5'4".
Fuck. Never mind. You're taller than I am. Fuck you.
Love you too, Amy.
Told you, everybody's fucking taller than me. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here, I'll wear flats and you can wear my heels.
Oh God, I hate heels. Fuck that. No, I'll just glare at you a little higher. That's all. Just angle my glare up.
Angle glare upward.
Laser eyes, go.
I don't like you no more.
I'm used to being short. My husband totally does not understand being short, though. I don't think he has memories of even being short. Because he was like, lost him in a crowd one time. And he's like, what do you mean you can't see me? I'm taller than everybody else. I'm like, yeah, but everybody else is taller than me, blocking my line of sight. Hello? No conception of what the short people's problems.
Yeah. I mean, my parents bought me a freaking... Because they saw me reaching for my kitchen, like, highest, like, little thingies. And my dad was just like, ugh. And then he bought me one of those step ladders.
Yeah, I get one of my tall people to do it, but I have a step ladder, too.
My tall person's out of the house, like, 12 hours of the day.
My tall person only comes over on the weekends, sadly.
Dope.
Well, Xavier's like 6'4" now. I'm like, where the hell are you getting it at, kid?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a tall one.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ours was laughing at me this past year because he's taller than I am, and I'm like, shut up. I can still beat your ass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more at level with the ass, so it's a lot easier for me to beat it, damn it.
Sounds familiar. Had the youngest doing that shit too. He's like, I'm bigger than you are. I'm like, I'm still your mama. I will kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these cars make it so easy to actually mask the windows off. Because it has little edges like at the end, at the areas around it. Thank you, Marvel. Well, thank you, Atomic Mass Games.
This is like fisking?
Huh?
This is like a fisking material?
No, I'm taping stuff off. So masking tape the windows off because I already airbrushed them.
Okay.
And
yeah, no. Cool.
It's a little car from the new Marvel game. And it's making it very easy because it has these like the little edges, like you know how cars like it has those lines like for where the window meets the top, like there's that rubber masking thing in a real car.
The weather stripping?
Yes. So it pretty much has that sculpted in. So all I have to do is follow the line.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Man, I thought my chair was squeaky. That was the most annoying thing on Twitch when I was sitting here and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh my God, it's my freaking chair.
Oops. Squeaky, 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 squeaky.
Oh, now.
Sounds like you're having, inappropriate or appropriate, depending on how you look at it, relations during the podcast.
It is after hours, right?
Right?
Yeah, right.
For those of you that said that you missed us, we're back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what that was even from now, but all my husband does is look at me and go squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. And the kids already are like, Mom, Dad.
That's gross. Well, that's how you were made.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lots of squeaky, 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 squeaky.
Yeah, the youngest was middle child was getting embarrassed by certain actions in the kitchen that were unjust. And we were like, dude, he's 6'5". Trust me, this is not the position. And he's like, I don't need to know this. I'm like, yeah, you do, actually. You're 5'10", and you need to understand how the mechanics work. He's like, I think I can figure it out. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry for your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does he have one?
No.
Doesn't he
not
have
right
to?
Now. Ooh,
bless you?
I muted that. How the hell did you hear?
You didn't? Yep.
Yes.
That's weird because it's not recording because I was muting. So, note to self, apparently.
Yeah.
That's interesting. At least I know I can mute myself and talk to you guys. And it won't record like if something comes up.
No, just don't record. When you're recording stuff, just don't say stuff you don't want to come out. Ever. Anywhere.
Yeah, because that's always been a problem for me.
Sure, that's going to work.
No, I was...
Fucking tiny fucking rivets? Jesus H.
Fucking
Christ.
tiny fucking rivets. Nah, Jim... like I said, Jim's at another convention right now, so he said make sure to talk about a lot of terrain stuff, so we gotta do Jim proud, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm fixing to start my next terrain project, but I don't know what I want to do yet. I mean, I have several projects on the go, as usual.
No, you have several projects? Never would have guessed it.
Yep. Not sure which one I really want to do. Thinking I'm going with some Necromunda style terrain. Not so much because I'm going to play Necromunda. I just really like that style of terrain, and it goes with a lot of things like, Fallout, anything post-apocalyptic, even fantasy in a way. If you're in a more open fantasy, not like just Dungeons and Dragons style or whatever.
Right. Oh, man.
Plus, I can make snarky little comments on the walls and graffiti, which is what I love to do.
You make snarky comments? Never.
Oh, yeah. I love Easter eggs. I put Kilroy was here in one of my Malifaux dioramas.
I remember that.
Yeah, I love that one. I still use it for a backdrop sometimes. It's actually a really good size for that.
Ugh.
Taping
that off was easier than taping off the nights.
My daughter's upset about her picture on her permit.
Oh, Jesus, give me a break.
Well, first off,
I saw that and I almost said something, but I was like, she's going to be mad about it already. I'm not going to say anything.
She was mad about it whenever she walked out.
Jesus.
Well, it's in black and white, so it's not exactly a great picture to begin with. And she's like, well, if I'd have known they were taking my picture today, I would have like put a little bit more makeup on and covered the zits.
Oh, God.
Typical teen.
You're only going to have it for like a year anyway.
No, that first photo goes with you with your first driver's license.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, they take another one when you get a
Mine
license.
well, I guess it might depend on the state, but
yeah.
mine, my very first driver's license photo was the one that I took as a permit.
Well, then I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off if my middle son when he gets his license. I mean, he's ready to take the test. We just can't afford the car insurance right now. But when he gets his license, because he got his original picture, if they do that, his original picture was when he was going to, oh God, whatever the fucking Boy Scout,
Boy Scout Jamboree?
Larry?
What?
That chair.
I know.
Anyway,
we've already discussed it. It's one of the next things that I replace.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Larry's not moving.
Yeah, just don't move, dude. He's going to Philmont. He went to Philmont. Anyway, so I buzzed the shit out of his hair because it was in the middle of summer, and he has no hair, and his hair is really, really, really fucking curly.
Don't make me come over there and smack you.
Why would you want to do that?
I am only next week I'm only going to be a couple of hours away.
Where are you going to be at?
I'll be in St. Louis.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Shit, don't tempt me to drive down. Hey,
I'm coming out to Warfare Weekend and I'll be teaching.
Weren't you supposed to record an episode of something with the blah blah blah? What's new with when you went to Arizona?
Yeah, we were about to set that up, and then that's the one that you kind of went bloop bloop.
No, you guys were supposed to record.
No, we honestly didn't have time after all the teaching and everything, and he had to go home and all that stuff. So.
Oh. Slackers.
I went to the zoo when I was in Arizona.
Anything interesting there?
No. It was apparently like fall break weekend, and I was like, why are there so many freaking kids out here? And it was because it was fall break weekend. And I was like, oh crap.
Great timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fall break is always a fun one. Hundreds and hundreds of teenagers running around and, making havoc for everything.
It was actually more families, and little tiny kids. But I mean, that's the zoo, right? Like the malls would be overflowing with high schoolers.
Oh boy!
But I didn't even know there was a fall break. Like I never got a fall break when I went to school. What the hell?
It's kind of a new thing. They shortened. Okay, so from my understanding, they shortened the summer break. They increased the spring break. It's like 2 weeks long, and they added a fall break.
What the hell?
It's dumb. They made a whole bunch of changes that didn't need to happen.
Same, what do you call it? Number of instructional days, and but yeah. So I'm just like, dude, just fucking take the summer off and go through the winter here, or vice versa, because at least in the summer the kids will be in air conditioning, and then in the winter they can actually go out and enjoy the weather. But no, they'd rather do have two months off in summer here, and like a really long ass fall break, and then a really long ass Christmas break that goes almost feels like 4 weeks. It's like 3 and some days or something, because of the in service and then running into New Year's and all that other shit. Who's screaming in the other room?
Everybody is screaming in the other room because they want to bug the hell out of you. And it seems
Explode on Mama's floor.
I scream.
It seems like they're doing a good job of it because you're losing your shit.
You having fun?
Oh, this is not me losing shit.
Who,
You don't know.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Is that who I think it
You
is?
have not heard Mama lose yet.
No.
Dude, say hello.
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 I can't hear you.
I have
Up
no
in
idea
the corner, dumb.
I have no
Yes,
idea
I
who
see
that is.
but
That would be my husband.
Hello, hubby Guildy or Guildy hubby.
it doesn't look anything like
He
me.
can't fucking. It doesn't. No, not you, dumbass. What? You are such a dick.
Such a loving,
Go away.
such a
So
loving
he's the mouse
relationship.
because you're the mouse bait, right, Amy?
You don't work, Mama.
That would depend of whether or not the mouse eats the mouse bait.
Right to bed.
Does the mouse
Right.
eat the mouse bait? Not near enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry.
I know it sucks.
Definitely doesn't lick. Oh, sorry.
No. Let's see. I need this one and that. And the boys are completely oblivious. That's hilarious. Of course, they can't hear your side of the conversation, so.
That
Is that a
almost
good thing or
makes
a bad thing?
that almost makes it more fun.
Yeah, it kind of makes it more fun.
Ooh, the adults are having naughty time. Sorry, I had to.
In the getting old department, a kid saw this and said, "Oh, you 3D printed the save icon."
Oh my god.
I had to explain what that was too. I'm like, you know what this is? They're like, no.
Oh boy.
Isn't that just the save button? And I'm like, do you know the reason why it's the save button? No.
No, of course not.
We getting old. We just getting
I know.
old.
Oh God, don't remind me.
I'm starting to sound like this
Seriously.
chair.
I turned 30 in September.
Oh,
my
poor
poor
baby.
Like ReaperCon weekend is always my birthday weekend, so like I do what I want. But literally the day that I come back from ReaperCon and the day after is the day I turn 30. The day after I am like bloated like it's nothing, like from airplane travel. And like my hands are all bloated, my feet are all swollen. I can't even walk like because they hurt so bad. And I'm like having all these like other health issues that I'm like, are you serious? Like the minute I turn 30, like you're gonna give me all this crap? Like what the
It's
fuck is
my
this?
party and I'll bloat if I want to.
God.
Ay, 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 ay.
I need to get a new light.
I need to get a new life. What, huh?
Apparently, these plastic ones can get really old and brittle.
Yeah,
It is literally falling out apart. I mean, it's like, holy shit.
it's falling out. I know you're old, Amy, but damn.
No, it's falling. It's
I
falling out of the socket. It's falling
Damn.
apart, and it's like shattering.
I didn't know it got that bad from underuse.
Oh, I gotta see the dust.
Does it just go?
You sneeze and cough, and it suddenly looks like you've been having inappropriate relations with a mummy.
No, usually I have to go change my pants.
Oh my goodness. So, in other completely unrelated from miniature news, Fitbit purchased, or Google purchased Fitbit.
Oh, fuck. That's what we need. Now we're in trouble.
Hey, I was pretty cool with it because Google paid a very large amount for $2.1 billion, which means they overvalued their stock, which means all of my Fitbit stock just went up by about 20% today. I'm cool with
Yes,
that.
because there's nothing that could happen bad that, you know, an international corporation type with all the data in the world needs biometric data for.
Meh. Google's already got all this shit. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and that's what we said. We have a Google Home now because of Spotify.
Oh my god.
I've got 7 Google Homes. Trust me. Yeah, they know about my personal life. They know how kinky I am.
So it's been fun the last couple of days playing around with all that stuff.
Well, I have a smart home, so I can be like, okay, so and so, and I can actually turn lights off. I can turn almost every light in my house off.
Oh god. That reminds me, is that a meme or I can't remember. Somebody was fucking making a meme or talking about it on Twitter or whatever, but he was like, yeah, so I got Alexa and I was watching an older movie and I'm like, yeah, there was some bit where they go, computer, turn the lights on, and Alexa turn the lights on in the house. And he's like, am I living in the future?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, where's my fucking
we were the future of
flying
the past.
car?
Well, if you think about it, you look at what some things expected, like flying cars and all that stuff. That didn't happen, but no one expected the fact that we would have computers, like supercomputers, damn near in our pockets.
No, but we also thought that we'd be on Mars by now.
We would be if we
World
quit.
Peace,
We would be if we
blah,
quit.
blah, blah.
We would be on Mars and the moon and everything else if we would actually put money towards it versus putting money towards, I don't know, a bigger military when we already have the biggest military. I understand keeping stuff up to date, but I also know what type of surplus spending there is and how much money we blow on dumb shit in the military. In the Army, I went through 3 different uniforms. I had to change my uniforms 3 different times. And did we need to? No, not really. No. Old uniforms were fine. And they just do these dumb-ass changes all the freaking time. And it's like, wow, look, all this money we wasted.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, we hired too many people. Let's kick some people out.
Oh, yeah. Let's downsize the military. And we're going to kick people out for the dumbest fucking reasons ever. And it was just a bunch of stupid... If we would put the budget of the military for 10 years towards NASA, we would be out of the solar system by now. But
yeah, I know, but it's what they, like you were saying, what the priorities are.
Yeah, priorities are definitely not seeking stuff outside of it's dumb. We keep cutting and we're not. It's just like education.
Crap. Oh, don't fucking get me started. Oh, anyway, anybody seen the new GW Battle Force boxes?
Oh man, we've been putting out fires over in the Eldar forums. It seems like nonstop for the last. It all started with the new fucking the new Howling Banshees, and let me talk about how bad that was. That was a fucking nightmare.
Didn't like 'em?
Huh?
They didn't like them? No,
they flipped their shit because one of them was a dude. Like.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, no. I personally banned 4 people. You should see some of the private messages I got from some of the members that were pissed off at me because I'm one dude I muted and he went all ape shit. Needless to say, he got kicked and blocked. And then, it was ridiculous. Like the amount of butthurt over the fact, and it's like, it's canon, right? Yeah, it's canon that they can have male Howling Banshees and they wear the female armor. Just how it...
Give me a break. These guys are just so fucking, reacting... Oh my god, we might have girls in our space. You can even fucking tell on something that's 28 millimeters, doesn't have genitalia... hello. Oh my gosh, it might actually have boobs. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't know. It's not Kingdom Death here, okay?
Well,
hey now. I know.
No, it wasn't the fact that it was female. It was actually the opposite fact. It was the fact that it was male, and it just caused everyone to lose their ever-loving shit.
Well, that's what I mean, though.
Banshee and banshees are women.
Yeah, I mean, whichever way it goes is all I mean. It
No.
doesn't. It's you can't tell hardly one way or the other.
Right. Well, in canon, actually, howling banshees can be both male and female. But what happens is if a male becomes a howling banshee, they are referred to as she, and they wear the armor of the female howling banshees. They only have one armor, even if they're... so, bah.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but yeah.
But yeah, like one of them was a dude, and people lost their shit. I had to ban a whole bunch of people, had to mute even more, had to get on to even more, and it was just...
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it was... Ugh.
Did you guys hear about the blow up today in Heavier Metal?
No.
What? Wait, what?
I left that group 2 years ago. I don't like the admins.
There was someone that posted female miniatures that either were nude and were bound, or like I saw the photo of another one where it was a lady that was bound and like her clothes were pulled off of her.
Okay, that's similar to the one somebody's been posting about the Reddit thing where somebody had like the teacher with the schoolgirl, you know, and they were like just, yeah.
So there was a whole hullabaloo about that and people getting banned and stuff because they were not appreciative of miniatures of women being bound made.
I mean, fucking put up a spoiler, you know, or whatever, if that's what you like to look at. I mean, I don't know what the rules are in that particular situation or whatever. I mean, for people, but I would have said, you know, anything that's kind of not safe for work or whatever, put up a fucking spoiler alert and go, look, this is like this. If this isn't for you, just move on. But, you know, that takes kind of maturity.
Yeah, but we're talking about internet people.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, yeah.
So
there is no maturity.
So people were getting banned because they didn't like the miniature?
Yeah. Didn't like the miniature and had stuff to say about it, like defending women's rights and stuff. The images were, I mean, it was pretty controversial. It was women set up to be as almost looking like as if they were sex slaves.
Yeah. Well, and
so
I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that it's you know, but you put that kind of thing up if you're gonna do that in a fucking with some conscious, you know, like grace to poke at the oh god, I'm thinking title. That's not the right fucking word.
But people apparently had stuff to say about it, and then the comments start getting deleted, and then it started getting bans and all that stuff. Apparently,
that's tell me again how Facebook's better than forums.
Did I ever say they were better than forums?
No. That was rhetorical at anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like, whatever, dude. This is the same shit we went through on forums. It's the same shit you go through on IRC. It's the same shit we went through when the internet was discovered and people were like, oh, I can hot chat now.
What's hot chat?
Sexy time.
Oh.
Racy.
Yeah, where you're like waiting till the other person replies because not everybody can be online at the same time. That kind of shit. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know. I'm of the belief that if you don't like something and it doesn't break the rules, to just ignore it and move on, because we get the same shit in the Adept or the Eldar group. And it's
I don't know. I probably would have been like making a snarky comment, but you know, you don't at the same time, if like 50 people have already made a snarky comment, then no, just, there's one comment, two comments, maybe if you like, leave it go. Okay. And then it gets pushed down or whatever. You don't have to sit there and dwell on it. And then, because then people get fucking defensive. And then they're defending themselves and they get emotional. And the next thing you know, there's just this holy fucking firestorm and nobody's listening to reason.
I would have to see. I'd have to see what the comments were. If it's just people like, I don't know. If people were bitching for bitching's sake, then they need to move on. If people were making a valid discussion, then... But the problem is, and I've heard this from multiple people, there's a lot of people that are burning out of the miniature community because it's a bit of a cesspool, especially in the last few years. It kind of went to becoming kind of shitty, and a lot of people are bowing out of the community as a whole because of it. They're just tired of it. They're done. And they're removing themselves. It just seems... And I always wrote it up to the fact that we were, as a group, we were more ingrained within the deeper community, because there's multiple levels in the miniature community. That you've got the hobbyists that go to their local store, the people that are locally competitive, and then you have like the Facebook groups, and then you have people that are influencers. Us, Nicholas, Tim, people who do stuff to influence people. And
I don't influence anybody.
You'd be surprised. But we're influencers. So we deal with a level where we're dealing with the managers of companies. We're dealing with people who are moving product. We're dealing with Kickstarters. We're dealing with stuff like that. And then there's also the competitive scene. And that's its own little sub-click within, like, our... It's just really weird, but the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, honestly, almost the crappier it becomes. You learn some things, and you're just like, I don't know if I want to... I don't know if I really wanted to be and know this type of stuff. And it like, people getting death threats from Kickstarters, people being harassed, women being harassed.
Yeah.
The homophobic overtones that are within some groups and some people. And I understand that type of stuff is everywhere, but it's really tiresome. Even as an admin of the Eldar group, we've got 9,200 members. So we've got quite a few, but overall, even when we've had real big blowouts, it's usually one or two people just acting a fool. And we're pretty good about cutting and being fair about stuff. Like, one dude was being attacked because he came out in the group as being trans. And while it's like, hey, that's cool, but let's not... Don't come about it as you're rubbing it in people's faces. And at the same token, just because he mentioned he was trans doesn't mean that it gives people an open invite to be shitty to him either, because he's trans. So it's like, we try to be open and fair, and normally it's only one or two people. We kick them and we're done. And just as I don't know, maybe it's because we have an ear to the rail and people talk to us about stuff. Like, it's crazy about I know Yeji can vouch for this. It's crazy the amount of shit that people come to us specifically to talk about. And
I've been hearing about a lot of people, not personally, but I mean, like, people complaining about Facebook specifically or other groups being very shitty and crap lately. And it does seem like maybe you're not just like the hobby, okay, but like the whole Facebook internet thing is really starting to reach a maturity. I don't mean a maturity like people are mature. I mean, the platform.
Well, it used to be like Yeji and I, we both met on Heresy Online. And back then you had different communities. You had Daka Daka, you had Farseer, you had Heresy, you had, you had all these different communities, Bolter and Chainsword, and they were their own little microcosms. And, you even had like the foreign language forums, and, they never really ever crossed over. So we had our own little microcosms, and you'd find the one that fit your personality. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Warseer because I didn't like their rules. I liked Heresy because, they didn't mind if you cussed. They didn't mind, a little banter as long as it didn't go too overboard. And it had a really well done painting section. So you found your little niche and you would run with it, and that's how it was. Well, with Facebook, it's like everybody knows everybody, and everybody does this and everybody does that. And
except everybody doesn't really know everybody, so yeah.
Right.
You don't get that same we built a clique together, or not a clique, but we built a group together.
Right.
Kind of vibe, I feel like.
With like on Heresy, it was almost like a family dynamic. And on Facebook, like I have maybe 50-ish people, maybe a little bit more, that I would consider close personal friends that I can talk to. And out of the other 500 probably painting people that are on my list, there's people that are I consider really close, and then I know them. Then after that, it's kind of like they're just people who paint, and I kind of follow them, or I'm friends with them. I don't know if it's for marketing or just every now and then to see some of the stuff they share. But it just seems like, it almost seems like in the community, it's like, let's collect a friend. And the more people you get, the more people you get, the more weird dilution there is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's what, you're describing. I mean, it's the tribal behavior is becoming, it's different when you get too many people, and then you have sub-tribes within that tribe, and that doesn't really work well in an online forum, at least not yet.
Well, it does and it doesn't. You've got cliques, and I can name several of them right now that are within the miniature painting community. And just because there's cliques, Models Workshop is a clique. Metalhead Minis is a clique. And it's not the cliques themselves aren't bad. It's how you treat people who are not part of the clique, or if someone approaches and wants to become part of your quote-unquote family unit, how you treat them and how you act towards them, that's when if a clique is bad or good.
Right, that's why I was kind of commenting about tribal ideas, because the idea being that, we remember a certain number of people as human beings. We're built to have so many relationships, right? Socially. We have a very, very social kind of outlook compared to other animals, yet we get into things like Facebook where, shit starts happening. Well, we still make those tribes of small associations with a certain number of like-minded people. And the problem is some of this is instinct, or whatever you want to call it, evolution. And this is what led to war. It's what leads to war. We're trying to figure out as a species, how do we interact with each other in much, much larger groups than, we ever had. And I think the part of the problem is we're doing it so quickly compared to the wandering tribes, the wandering bands of humans, a few hundred members that, used to get together and then wander off. And even the growth of cities and everything, we started, even when we got together and getting bigger and bigger numbers, there were several times we got together in many big cities, not just in Europe, but even that didn't have the level of socialization that we can now have with the internet. And I don't know. I think it's kind of tripping some of us out.
It seems like the internet and the open forum, especially Facebook, allows for... What's the word I'm looking for? It allows the vocal minority to seem like they're representing a lot more people than they really are. Versus back in the day when the communities were a lot smaller, where it was something... Okay, prime example, the miniature on Heavier Metal today. People didn't like it because it was suggestive female posing with ropes. And as someone who's related to someone who is into binding, I can tell you a lot of that stuff, honestly, is more than likely done on purpose with permission. Versus...
It wasn't that kind of binding, though. It was just the arms behind the back and with like a submissive, like head down, and
it still could be, but yeah, I mean,
I get what I get what you're saying, but the problem is that it's still...
It's a sensitive topic.
It is.
Which is why I was trying to say, that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that I think if it's approached with sensitivity, you know, like, okay, some people may not like this maybe, you know, instead of just the, oh yeah, this is the miniature, you should just love it kind of thing, that people don't seem to realize that their shit has an impact on other people. And then the people who go off and start maybe starting the snowball of, you know, oh, this is terrible, this is whatever. And I'm like, instead of just, yeah, you could make your point and then just go, okay, well, it's not for me, but, you know, nice job.
Right. And, you know, maybe it could have been handled better. Maybe they could have buried it, you know, put a first post, hey, I painted these miniatures, but they might be triggering to some people, so check them out in the first post. You know, that would have been fair. But once again, you know, the point I was trying to make is you had, you know, let's say 10 people on that post at a group of, 20,000 people?
Yeah.
And they're the ones complaining. Now, I honestly give, even though I may not like the people over at Heavier Metal, I applaud them for actually sticking up for the miniature and the art versus taking it down just because of a vocal minority. Now, on the flip side of that is the good thing that you have with this forum is a company. No, actually, I'll say who. It was Scale 75 released a chibi, and within minutes, it was starting to raise a lot of red flags. And for those that don't know Brian, he's actually a partial owner or one of the owners of Scale 75 now. And I actually sent him a text immediately when I saw this. I was like, bro, you might want to check this out because there's a lot of people. And it wasn't just one or two. There was a lot of people going, y'all shouldn't be putting stuff like this out.
Okay, so what was this chibi? Because I have not seen it.
Well, you probably never will. It was pulled. Brian had them pull it completely, and remove it from production. It was a chibi Nazi, female chibi Nazi SS member holding a large chibi-esque syringe full of chemicals.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those, I've seen, so Scale 75 has an Adolf Hitler orc. I was like, okay, that's comical. But that one, I was like, no.
They have the bust of that one lady.
There's a difference between, if they produced a bust of Adolf Hitler, I wouldn't be like, this is horrible. It is in a way, but at least it's historically correct. It's just like George producing a Vlad the Impaler or Genghis Khan bust. Both of those people were ruthless tyrants.
Definitely real people. I mean,
and they were ruthless and they were horrible people. Well, Genghis Khan wasn't and was at the same time. he did a lot of really good things, and he did a lot of really bad things.
He did a lot of good things for his people, a lot of bad things for other people.
Well, yes and no. Genghis Khan.
Okay, let's not. I don't know. Yeah, that's.
I read his biography, so if he did a lot of good things and he did a lot of evil things, he took no shit. Let's just put it that way. He always gave people the chance to join him, and if you didn't, you died. If you did,
okay,
he was cool. But
let me put it this way: there's a huge difference in historical figures that happened to be conquerors, okay, and yet who were very successful conquerors or whatever, and people who maybe,
glamorizing and making light of
an actual evil.
Yeah, I mean, there was like no doubt. It wasn't even like a spoof. It was straight up SS uniform, and she had this big ass vial of toxic ooze that she was carrying, like she was about to go inject somebody with it, which is something like Mengele did. So that was like,
this is not the time to be doing shit like that. We already have enough of this crap going on, especially on Facebook and with everything else going on in the political side of things.
Right.
I really would not be a good time.
Major props to Brian, because I sent him he was actually in Europe on like a vacation of some sort, and I was like, hey, sorry to bug you, but you're my only contact I know at the company. You told me to get a hold of you if I heard some rumblings in the thing. I'm just letting you know people are starting to get kind of shitty about this. And even on vacation, he had it taken down. So major kudos.
In the hell? Okay, who approved that is what I want to know.
The way that Europeans kind of see some of the stuff is different from the way we see some stuff. Like, they might have thought it was just like a historical, like, reference.
It was a
dude, you realize that Nazis are illegal in Europe, okay?
Well, this is also, we have to remember, scale 75 is Spain, and Spain had a really... Spain wasn't really directly involved in the entire World War II thing. So, yes, Nazis are banned in Germany, they're banned in France, and a few other places. England, they're banned in England because one of the princes actually got in trouble because he dressed up as a Nazi one day. That was a major scandal. But yeah, that a lot of places like that, they're straight up just banned. Nazi like the stuff that you see going on here in America with people carrying Nazi flags. Nope.
Yeah, I know that would be
You would get arrested.
That's what I'm pointing out.
You would get arrested and thrown in jail for having any of that stuff. Even museums have a hard time keeping some of the Nazi memorabilia. It has to be. You can't, like here in the United States, you can go to a coin shop and you can buy Nazi coins and everything else. But over in Europe, that type of shit don't fly.
Yeah, I kind of thinking we needed to ban it ourselves. Anyway, Nazi chibi, bad idea. Very, very bad idea.
Totally concur on that one. But like I said, Brian handled it like a champ. It was like immediately. I messaged. Well, it wasn't immediately. It took him a couple hours. But like I said, dude's on vacation, but he took care of it, and that's really cool, because that was when Yeji and I had our issue with Scale 75, and we went and talked to Brian about it. He told us, and this is the first time I had a chance to actually test the open microphone and open platform that he gave us. And he said, hey, if you have a problem, message me directly, let me know, and I'll see what I can do about it if it's an actual concern. And, I messaged him, and he took care of it. That was really cool. And Brian's a really cool guy. I got to meet him.
Yeah, he's been really great since the whole debacle.
Yeah, the entire him calling Yeji, and then someone should have recorded that phone conversation that I had with him, because I was not happy. I was like, you made my Yeji cry. It was a half hour of me yelling at him on the phone. And now to give him props, he did just sit there and he listened and let me go at it, and he did eventually apologize to Yeji too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've had a good working relationship. It was like whenever we had the kid competition pop up and we needed prizes, Brian from Midnight Heroes threw in some super chibis, and then Keith from Bombshell Miniatures. I kept thinking Babes. I was like, it's not Babes. It's not Babes. It's Bombshell Miniatures. They threw in some of their chibis.
It is Bombshell Babes, but, you know.
Yeah,
right,
but, yeah.
Right.
They have other stuff.
And then Scale 75 threw in some really cool prizes, too. Now, it didn't hurt that his daughter ended up winning. It was so cute. I didn't know she was like 7 years old.
Aww.
No, like, okay, so what happened is we walked in there and they were like, hey, we had a whole bunch of entries for junior division in chibis. And we're like, we didn't prepare for this. We prepared prizes for adult. And I mean, it was a significant number. There was like 15 to 20 junior entries.
Oh,
like,
wow, cool.
Yeah, in chibi. And we're like, oh, shit. So we ended up, so I ran over there and I was like, you know, I'm pulling favors with people. I'm like, hey, I need a prize. Can you toss in a chibi or two? And, you know, so they're like, yeah, I'll do this, this, and this. So it was really cool. And we went through and judged it. And I didn't know it was Brian's kid. And I was like, this is the clear winner. And then they were like, oh, that's Brian's kid from Scale 75. And I looked at the name. I was like, oh, I'll be damned. It is. Well, that's cool. I mean, it was honestly the
really
clear.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good. And then Yeji's like, yeah, she's 7. I was like,
damn.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it was really.
See, that's something that's really fun. This generation of painters that are coming up, you know, with all the tools and the people, the parents to show them how to do it and stuff. Oh my God, some of these kids are really talented.
I thought it was awesome too, because like for ReaperCon, they gave us artist table, like where you can set up your stuff and leave stuff there the whole weekend and whatever.
Oh, nice.
But like the other thing is you could have some of your work just like splayed out for people to see. Well, I had that, and we had some kids come up and they're like, yeah, I like their mom's like encouraging them to talk to the artists and stuff. And they're like, yeah. And we're asking them like, how old are you? 3, 2.
Oh my God.
What'd you paint? Did you put anything into the competition? And they're like, yeah.
Oh,
it was the cutest things ever.
Well, that's awesome, because I tell you, I see a lot of little kids that don't have fine motor coordination yet.
Yeah,
they can operate a phone, but they can't. You know, they don't have the skill to use their hands for writing or things that are going to be important later, and it takes them longer.
Well, and then the thing is, like, with some kids that are a little bit older, like when we saw them, they're like, wow, this is really good. Like, because I brought my little rainbow dragon and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, did you start or are you a painter? Have you started painting? And they're like, yeah, we just started, blah, blah, blah. I just started a dragon or whatever mini. And I'm like, you know what? Keep going. Because if when you're my age now, you're going to be really good, like much better than me. And they're like, really? And I'm like,
That's so cute.
I actually had an old couple come up to me to flip the entire generation thing. They probably they had to have been in their 60s. They're retirees, and they come to Dallas for some big football game. And they walked up, and they happened to walk. At this point, I had like bright neon pink hair, so apparently I stood out. And they walked up to our group and were like, "Hey, what's going on here?" So I was like, "Oh, I took them in hand. And I was like, this is ReaperCon, yada yada. This is where everything's at." I took them over and introduced them to some of the artists. Julie Guthrie and the other one that was sitting right next to her, and I feel so bad about forgetting his name because he's been with Reapers since they've opened too. But they were both there showing sculpting stuff, and they were literally packing everything up. And I walked up, and they looked at me, and they dumped everything out on the table.
Oh my God.
And so they sat with I don't
know who was there this year.
Like everyone was there this year.
I meant from the artist. Bob? Is it?
Yes, Bob Rodolphi. Julie
Yes,
Rodolphi,
yes,
like,
yes.
right at the hip.
Okay.
So they sat there and they dumped everything out and were explaining to this couple who had never seen a miniature in their life
How
what
did
it
they
was
wander
to
into
sculpt.
Con with that?
They
That's crazy.
They drive to Texas to go to a football game, and they're not from the area, so they just
There's
happen.
like right near there is North Texas U or something like that.
Yeah. It was a big
okay,
college.
okay.
It's a big college game. They happened to be in the hotel. They were staying in the same hotel.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah.
So they came down to the lobby and they're like, "What's going on?" And I showed them around, and they're like, "You know what? We come up here every year, but this has to be the coolest thing that we've seen."
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
It sure as hell beats the fucking cheerleaders that were staying in the same places when we had a certain convention one year. Oh God.
Oh, speaking of sports, the coolest shit ever. I did not realize this, but Reaper sponsors a junior softball league.
Oh God.
So I think they were like 12 or 13. Come walking through with Reaper miniature jerseys.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I was like, I want one. I want a fucking
right?
Reaper jersey.
I mean, like, dude, can I like coach or something and get one?
Yeah, I was like, make extras. They'll be like one of the most represented fucking middle school, elementary school sports teams ever. Like, yeah, give me a double extra large fucking baseball Reaper jersey. Hell yes.
That is so cool.
That was, hey, maybe we should talk to him and be like, hey, to raise money for your softball team here, why don't you sell their jerseys and, randomly sell them for X amount of dollars, and it has on the back, it has randomly one of the person's numbers and their name. So,
well, maybe, I don't know.
Or just even their numbers. So the current roster
depends on the
current roster.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So you might get this one or you might get that one. Hell, I'd buy a Reaper baseball jersey. That'd be cool as shit.
Yeah, I would.
And they're already having them made, even if they weren't the jersey. I think they were wearing the baseball T-shirts. Even if they had baseball T-shirts made up, I'm a sports fan. I love baseball and I love miniatures. I would love a Reaper miniature baseball T-shirt. Absolutely, I'd buy one just to support the team. I think that would be cool as shit. That'd be a way to make a little bit extra money for them. But I digress. But yeah, it was really
cool.
It was really neat watching them walk through. It took me a minute before it dawned on me that they had a fucking softball team. I was like, that they sponsored a school softball team. I was like, that is so fucking awesome.
That is awesome too, because actually it's having had kids in baseball and various, ages and shit. It's actually not that easy to get somebody to sponsor the team, to get the fucking T-shirts and shit. We always had to put out a lot of, or go sell a lot of Coke or something, and it was a pain in the ass.
Sell Coke, eh?
Yeah. If I was selling real Coke, I'd probably have a hell of a lot more money in miniatures, dude.
You wouldn't have the 3 part-time jobs.
Right, exactly.
You'd have the 1 part-time job. That's it.
Yeah. 3 part-time jobs, full-time mom. Ugh. Yeah, because you'd think they were... I was like, yeah, everybody's like 18, 20, and 22, and only one of them is mostly left the house. I'm screwed.
No, you're not.
I don't know, man. The whole idea of having them this close together was so that they'd all leave the house roughly about the same time.
All mine left the house at the same time.
Well, because my mom, I meant they were supposed to, Larry, as adults, not like this, other issues. But, yeah. Anyway. Damn it. No, I think I liked it better the other way around. Son of a bitch.
Wah, 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 wah.
I should have... Shit. All right, fine. I'll let it dry. I'm trying to figure out how to do Loken's cloak. I wanted to do something a little different, and so I thought, I'll do black on the outside and more of my fake white on the inside. But looking at his armor and shit, it would be much more framing to him if I put it black on the inside and the gray on the outside. I don't know. Think about it. He has got a tiny freaking face.
You have a tiny freaking face.
No, not like this dude. Oh my god.
It's okay, you're not painting Infinity Minis.
There's so much fucking detail on him.
Infinity Minis are a true 28mm scale.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them. They're insane.
They're really
I love
pretty,
them.
though.
They're beautiful, but I'm like, I don't know if I could do those. My eyes are going.
Clint wants me to start playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Does this group play still? Or
Halfway
just be like
debating.
Well, that's his thing, though. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Infinity, like after Malifaux 3rd ed came out, Infinity has become his thing.
Well, I haven't even got my fucking 3rd ed book, so I wouldn't know. I'm still waiting for the restock.
Huh.
And then nobody near me is playing, so it's like, fuck. I don't know. It's probably going to be, again, me and the hubs, or one of my other sons who actually likes to play. Oh, who keeps spinning up, who's gotten into 40k lore and keeps coming to me with these army ideas and shit, and I'm like, yep, that would be cool. Yep, that would be cool. Someday.
Oh, for our listeners who haven't heard the news yet, Badger is winding up for their Happy Birthday 56 sale. If you haven't done so and you want to get into it, you need to go over to the Badger Airbrush page and go ahead and like them and scroll down, and you will see the post that Ken has made about what to do. Basically, is you send a simple email to him. And,
to get into the front of the line.
Yeah, to get into the front of the line. And you have until November 10th on Sunday at midnight to do this, or you're basically SOL. They're trying to make it a little bit more easy. Streamlined. I may actually have to jump on board this year. I meant to do it last year, but
Because it's not only for Ken to have less of a headache, it's for his team. Like, he's like you, Larry. Like, he will go to bat for his team, which, like, his team is pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah. He, oh, what was it? Yeah, he was telling me a story. That was another person that I actually got to sit down and hang out with at ReaperCon was Ken, even though he got busy. Then I had to leave. He was telling me about one dude who was calling in and being extra salty to his tech team. And I guess this guy was like a weekly caller. And eventually it got to the point where Kent refunded him his damn money and told him, don't worry about it because you're banned from buying any of my airbrushes again.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn. He's like, yeah, did I lose a customer? Yep. But,
Yeah, but sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah. And from what he said, it wasn't a simple, hey, where's my stuff? Hey, where's my stuff? Like, this dude went extra chippy. It was like he got abusive, and it wasn't like the first time he got abusive. He like got abusive multiple times before Ken finally was like, nope, I'm done with you. I'm not going to I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to have you abusing my people anymore. He gave the dude chances after chances after chances. And the guy just basically kept being an asshole. And Ken basically said, "See you later, alligator," and was done with him. So yeah, Ken's protective of his people, and I can honestly get behind that. I like to say I'm a little protective of my people too.
Mm-hmm. Go all mama bear for us. Papa bear, Papa bear.
I say pitbull.
Yeah, I know.
Bulldog.
I always think of it as going mama bear because,
You are Mama Bear.
Yeah, pretty much. This guy's got eyebrows. Holy shit.
Paint them eyebrows, Amy. Paint them eyebrows.
I'm like, it's not an orc with a green face and yellow eyes, and what the hell do I do? Oh well.
Yeah, so yesterday was I mentioned her earlier, but Michaela's birthday was yesterday.
Oh.
Yep. And my little pumpkin.
Nice.
Yeah. Having a Halloween baby isn't as cracked up as it seems like it would be.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not real thrilled with it.
Better than a Christmas baby, though.
Right.
Well, yeah.
No, it's not that. You would think that by having a Halloween baby, it would be a lot easier to do birthday parties and stuff. No, it's horrible trying to plan a birthday on the same day that you're going out for beggars night. Nope. Couldn't do it, so we always do her birthday either the week before or the week after, because trying to rush and do everything at one time is horrible. Now that she's a little older, she's a little bit better because she can actually mix her birthday into Halloween, and it's not so much about wanting to do the trick or treat, even though she did go trick or treating this year. And that's good on her,
Yeah, I was working.
Hey, let them trick or treat as long as they want to. Like,
dude, I had teenagers come to my house one year, which I have no problem with as long as they're trying to wear costume. Put together some kind of costume. I don't care. But yeah, we didn't have anybody this year. We're not in a good spot really for it, and we haven't done it regularly enough to be known in the neighborhood. So
we actually got knocked on yesterday, and I had no candy to give out. The last 2 years, there was no one. No one came.
Didn't you just turn the fuck?
We gave up, and then now this year, I was like, oh, that's kind of sad.
So my I did a bad. I ended up.
Damn it.
So what happened was I decided to go to my friend's house. And
this is about a strip club.
No. So I was deciding I was going to go over to a friend's house. It was one of those, okay. So I was running out of the house and I didn't put socks on. I was like, I'm just going to go over there and sit down, have some coffee. I'm outside of this I'm also trying to reconnect with a lot of friends that I've kind of pushed away over the last few years and haven't, my local friends, the people that are literally down the road that I haven't had a chance to see or talk to or any of that other stuff. So I was like, I'm going to go over to James' house and I'm going to chill with him, have coffee, just BS for a little bit, talk about trucking. He's a truck driver. And, just be people, be friends, hang out with each other. So I was like, okay, but, I'm not going to put socks on because fuck it. I'm just going over there, whatever. And I get there, and as I'm driving over there, I look over and it's like, there's people going around in costumes. That's kind of weird. And I was like, whatever. And I get over there and he's like, we were talking a little bit and he's like, well, yeah, it's Beggar's Night tonight, and we're going to go over to, I got to head to town here in a little bit, and yada, yada, yada. I was like, fuck it, I'll go with you. Oh, we walked like 3 miles all over town. My poor pinky toe had the biggest blister on it. I was like, I'm done. But it was fun. It was fun. It was actually fairly warm out. We got to see a whole bunch of friends while we were out there walking. That's a good thing about a small town, is that whenever you're doing like trick or treat, you get to see all the people that you know, because there's only a few thousand people in town. But the thing is the 2 of the lights that are not smart in my house are my porch lights, which I need to fix, because those are the ones I always forget to turn on, and I'll come home and it's like my porch is darker than hell, and I accidentally left my porch lights on.
Oh, dude!
I'm just really happy I didn't get egged. Really, really happy I didn't get egged, because that would have been horrible.
Yeah, I think they left I don't know if anybody knocked. They probably didn't even hear it, but they left the lights on, and I think because when I got home, the lights were still on. I was like, oh shit. But then we're in a weird spot, because they will decide to do it certain days and then not other days, and then one city will do it then and another city will do it then. It's right next door, and I don't even know when the hell they celebrated Halloween.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it was. That's how it was here. I didn't realize they were doing it. Just one of those things where it's actually supposed to be the Saturday, the day before. But what happened was it poured rain, like really, really bad poured rain. So they decided...
It was raining here, actually, too. Come to think of it, actual Halloween night, it was pouring. And then it did stop for about an hour or two, but that was it.
Oh, it snowed yesterday here. On Halloween, It actually snowed quite a bit. The weather here has been horrible. I was up in Massachusetts, and it was in the 70s. It was raining and windy, but it was in the 70s. I get back down here, God. It's snowing and windy as all hell and freezing. I mean, it was cold. It was really, really, really cold.
Yeah, there's some weird. Well, yeah, there's some weird shit going on. It actually got cool here finally. It was like fucking finally, at least for a little while. Hopefully it'll stay cool for a while. Oh, so I haven't told you about my new friend.
You have a friend?
Yep. Well, my son does.
Your friend? Your son has a friend?
Yeah, a fur friend. He decided
if he's into that type of lifestyle, that's fine.
Yeah, she stays on the back porch. And we put out a box for her right now. And but I was starting to get concerned because of the weather, actually, because although she's long haired, so that's nice. But she's probably 4 months old, maybe. She's pretty little. It's hard to tell when they're that little. She maybe just not have been well fed. Long series of cats in our neighborhood. Now we finally have a stray in our backyard.
Aw. It's going to end up being an inside cat before you know it.
Oh, well, it would be an inside cat already if we didn't already have a cat. And I wasn't worried about him getting something from her because he doesn't actually have his shots.
Right.
Because he doesn't go outside. Well, she's going to need to get fixed in her shots, and then we'll see. Plus, I have 2 dogs who know enough not to mess with a cat. But, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like... So my son's been out there feeding it and taking care of her. And she'll come to him and let him pet her now. So I think he's got it pretty well in hand.
Speaking of friends, I have 2 stories. So the other day, I told him I would tell you, and I already told you, but now I want to rub it in your face on podcast.
Oh God.
George from Greece was in my stream. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I remember I heard you say that. That's awesome.
He sends me chocolate, so
Got your boyfriend.
I just told him that I was gonna rub it
That's
in your
cute,
face,
though.
what did he say?
and he was just like, he just laughed.
That's neat.
But yeah, I still can't pronounce his last name.
He just tells me to call him George.
Yep, I just call him George. And speaking of Georges, our other friend, did you see that link that Lynn posted about George Stevenson?
Oh, the article that happened on him?
Yeah, the article that happened on him, and the TV interview that happened on him. So George Stevenson is our friend from Blackheart Models.
I have one of his busts in my painting bag, actually. Jason.
And he's a judge in Minnesota, and he has this horror-themed side business.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Blackheart Models is run by a judge.
That's cool.
Y'all didn't know that?
I don't know them.
I actually didn't know that he was I knew he had to do stuff with law, but I didn't know exactly that he was a judge.
Yeah, he's an actual judge. Yeah, I actually knew.
That's because you actually talk to people, Larry.
No, actually, Sin told me about it. Yeah, Sin told me he was a judge, but prior to. Me and George don't talk very often. It's one of those weird things, like, I don't know if it's the judge in him, but talking to him sometimes is really, he's very, I don't know. He's not mean, abrupt. Would that be?
I think he's very short with his words.
Yeah, and
not
maybe
like
that could be because of the lawyer in him, because he doesn't want to come across as, he doesn't want to say too many words that people can construe the wrong way. Does that make sense?
possibly.
Sure.
So I'm thinking maybe that's why he's just very straight to the point type. You know, I've never talked to him all that much.
He's a very cool and very nice guy, though.
He
Okay,
is.
yeah, this looks much better this way. Black cloak on the inside, gray
And
cloak
he
on the
sometimes
outside.
sponsors my classes.
Aww.
I told him the story about how like 3 different people picked up a Jason for me and all of them lost it.
Oh my God.
Literally. Because I had left Adepticon and I was like, shit, I forgot to buy one. And like Sin was like, I got you one. He ended up losing it. And another follower of the podcast who was still there was like, I'll buy you one and ship it to you. And he bought it and then lost it. So somewhere floating around is like 3 different Jason busts. Mine is in my painting bag right there. And I bought this damn thing. I was like, yeah. So I have one now. I was like, apparently I can't rely on other people to pick it up for me. Because apparently, I was like, if this fucker goes missing, something says I am not supposed to paint it.
Which I don't know if I forgot. His sale's going to be up by the time that we upload this.
When is it supposed to be?
Hold on. He always does, like, around Halloween, does the $5 off each bust.
Right. It might already be over, though.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find out. Oh, and Sunday, November 3rd, so.
No, sadly, it'll be the... Yeah, I don't think this is going to be up by then.
But but I mean, every year, look around on Halloween time because
and Christmas and stuff like that. He runs sales fairly regularly. Maybe
he does, but Halloween's like his biggest one.
Oh, of course. Maybe we should talk to him about doing maybe we can do a models workshop thing with him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'd be up for it. Like what? Like a paint along?
We could do that. We could do a paint along. We can do something. Maybe he can give us a discount code or something.
Oh, I never showed you guys this, did I?
No, because you've been like radio silent real bad.
I've been working on stuff, man. I've been painting up one of his busts for one of our viewers that had won it back in July.
I think it needs a bit more peach to the skin tone, but other than that, I like it.
You know, oh no, I just broke my pair of headphones.
Oops.
No, I figured I would go a little bit more just on the purple side, especially with the art that I had up. So I'm gonna leave it as is.
Okay.
But and the person likes it too, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I opened up my phone, like the third thing down was Lynn sharing the article from George. I was like, oh, this Minnesota judge loves all things horror. Or, this Minnesota's judge's love for all things horror goes beyond Halloween. For the past decade, he has maintained a spooky side business. Ramsey County District Court Judge George Stevenson creates busts and figurines of horror movie characters and sells them all across the world. Stevenson grew up loving monsters and movies, and now he's turned his hobby into a side job. As a kid, I grew up watching horror and science fiction movies. That's what my family was really into, Stevenson said. It's an outlet. It's a nice release. Do something creative and something I'm interested in, and it's fun. Gets my mind off of other stuff, and when I'm finished, I actually have something to show for it. The spooky creations can cost as little as a few $100s and up to a few thousand. Some of Stevenson's work is on display at Universal Studios in Florida. To view or purchase Stevenson's creations, visit his business website. That's the article. So it's really cool. And that's actually incorrect. It's not a few hundred. You can actually pick up some of the smaller busts for $15 or $20 even. So,
hey, Thomas is back.
Yeah. With the new studio, you can hear Thomas in the background.
Oh, I missed him. Hi, Thomas. Dude, he like.
He answered you. He missed you too. He's like, hi, Guildy.
I heard the cat in the background too.
Yeah, there's I should bring Dom in here and let him talk. He'd do an entire fucking podcast by himself. He's the chattiest damn cat I have ever seen.
Bring me Scrappy.
I'm a little worried about mine, but I'm taking her to the vet after I come back from Warfare Weekend, so we'll see what needs to be done. But like, she hasn't really been eating all that much, but then she's 8, so I don't know.
Well,
is she losing a lot of weight?
She's not really losing it. Clint says that it looks like she might be losing it, but I don't think so. Like, when I pet her, it doesn't feel like it.
I wouldn't worry unless you're noticing
staying hydrated.
She's drinking water just fine.
I wouldn't worry about it. Cats are fickle beasts. They're almost like women in a way.
What?
He is sleeping.
What?
The cat is sleeping on my book bag.
Alright, leave him alone.
God, your kid sounds like mine when he talks.
Yeah, hey Ben, come here.
Hey Xavier, come here.
Come here. Here, come here. Say hey.
Hey, it's for horses.
The mic's over there, dude. This is the.
Hey, it's for horses.
Oh God, ow.
Thanks, dude.
Say hey.
Hello, it is me, Xavier Killian, also known as Gen24 Jr.
Come here, dumbass.
What am I listening to?
My friend. Oh, fuck off! Ugh. That was nice.
Say hey there.
Hey.
Hey, give me my headphones back.
Her side
Hello.
stole her headphones.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
Yep. Yes, I have.
Give me the fucking headphones back.
Okay, fine.
Apparently he still stole them.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I invite one to say hello and they start acting like they're just whatever.
They
But now
start
I-
swarming.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's following me home. Go away.
Yeah, Xavier was huddled over in the corner. Dude, for being like 6'4", can fold himself up like a damn transformer. He's over there watching anime.
Like a toothpick. Oh god,
Also trying to
anime.
keep
Ah,
Dom-
Jesus.
Also trying to keep Dom out of the flipping room.
Put the fucking dog down.
Put the fucking dog down. Put the fucking dog down.
Oh, which, speaking about other podcasts too, or podcasts in general, are my other
Because that's
Twitch-
related to.
Well, sorry, I just my mind, you know how it
yes,
runs.
Mike too.
But my friend Useless Wizard is starting a new podcast called the Miniature Podcast, and he is starting to. Huh?
The miniature podcast.
Yeah, the Miniature Podcast.
So it's going to be a short one, right? Just the mini podcast?
Oh.
Uh,
Ha 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 ha.
But he's going to be interviewing artists as to like people that are on Twitch, like gain an insight to that, or people how long have they been painting, what
Mini
got
artists.
them into painting and things like that. So if you guys want to reach out to him, if you're interested, I know Lynn is doing one here November 14th, and then I'm doing one November 21st.
You know the
But
last
yeah, mini artists.
the last person who did a podcast like that, I offered to come on the podcast for like months and months and months,
Oh, I
and
remember that.
he turned me down every single time, and then brought Peter on. So it's like,
Yes, and you
really?
have never let go of that.
No, I haven't, because it was kind of a shitty thing for him to do.
Oh, God.
Because I was literally one of the first people who actually promoted him.
Yeah, we remember.
What, you don't think that's
I know.
kind
I mean, I actually remember. I've actually known you long enough to remember this. Isn't that fucking crazy? My first fucking podcast, I was listening to Larry talk about the dog and his wife who kind of had a misalignment with finger.
finger up the booty? Arr.
Funny thing was, we actually talked about that
Oh god,
like the last time we recorded or did something.
it's kind of a fucking classic.
Yeah,
Plus the dude that just lost it at work.
Sleeping.
And they were like, "You okay? Are you gonna live?"
yeah. The guy fell out of his chair while listening to it because of Kara accidentally sticking her finger up the dog's ass.
Yeah, one of my other friends, their kid was playing with their dog's poop, and so
Oh,
the wife
no.
was like, "Oh, come and clean him up," and so they cleaned the kid up, and then like a couple of days later, he had to go to the doctor because he ended up with pink eye.
Oopsie.
That's yeah.
I apologize to anyone who may have got popped with that hot mic a minute ago. I didn't realize it, but mic 2 had its gain turned up really loud. So whenever I unmuted it so Xavier could talk.
Oh, guess what? Your voice is very much better through the Skypes.
With both mics on?
Well, it's better now than it was before.
Well,
It doesn't have the weird fuzzy going on.
huh. Hold on.
At least from
What
what
about
I
what
can
about
hear.
now?
It's
Is the
kinda
fuzzy
bad.
still there?
No.
Okay, it must have just worked itself out from whatever reason.
Or maybe it was the gain.
How long did it take to fix itself?
I like most of the podcast. I have been adjusting the gain because the gain was set up. Maybe it was the gain being too loud.
How long has this podcast been going for?
2 hours and 30 something minutes. So we're still on the short side of our normal podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta go to bed because I actually have to get up and do fucking homework.
Actually, Yeji has to get off in 18 minutes as well. So I think this would be a good place to stop. Next time I will buy a splitter so I can actually bring in one of the kiddos if they want to. I've got 2 mics, might as well use it.
I could bring my own headphones in.
That's true. Are they recorded?
Yes, extra headphones are probably good.
Yes.
Okay, I just need to buy a splitter. All right, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap up now. Thanks to everyone for joining us. I hope you have liked the podcast, and for those that have been like, where have you been? We're back, bitches.
Getting everything back set up.
You asked, you yelled, you begged, you cried. Now you shall cry and beg and bitch and moan for our topics and conversations. And shake your head at work going, thank goodness I have headphones in, otherwise I would get fired. But yeah, this episode goes out to James for putting a boot in my ass and telling me to get shit or get off the pot. And yeah, so we're here. I'll probably post a picture of the new setup and I'll get it nicer and neater. And like I said, I have to order some new cables and hopefully a new headset and a couple new chairs. I got that. And actually get my paint stuff set up so I can paint while we're doing the podcast. Haven't got that far yet.
First.
But Yeji, you want to say something?
We'll see ya.
The lady of many words. How about you, Guildy?
Well, I don't talk very much.
You talk all the time, Yeji.
Well, I end up getting focus mode. I think
I
that's
don't
what
talk
it is.
very often, except all the time.
Shut up.
Okay, well, fun times.
Fun times. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. You know where to find us. And expect some big changes in 2020. We're going to be doing some big things, and this setup is only going to improve and get better. And the conventions are going to come in. We'll be doing some bigger stuff. My goals by ReaperCon next year hopefully is to have a booth set up or maybe co-inhabitate with someone. And
Co-inhabitate?
Yeah.
I'm down.
So to be sitting there and doing podcast while we are at the convention. I actually kind of want to get a drone and fly it up so we can look at the convention hall while we're live streaming and live stream the drone view. But anyways, thank you for joining us, and until next time, peace out.
Bye.
Bye.